seen their strength, but what about their stamina? A 2-mile run on the road and across country where all 72 competitors must do the run, even the beefcakes.
So away they go, all 72 guys start off together for this 2-mile run around the area surrounding the David Lloyd Club in Raynes Park. And the early pace coming from Elmley's John Barry. Very early days. John Barry just on the left of your screen in the green shirt. And they're having to dodge the traffic here as well, so added dangers. Pedestrians might be in for a bit of a shock in South London here. And still John Barry leading the way. But it's important for his team, his entire team, to do well. It's a team event, remember. The run particularly hard on the guys that Kim referred to as the beefcakes, the weights boys. They'll find this hard going. 2 miles on the pavement and on the grass around South London. Still John Barry from the Prison Warders team from Elmley on the Isle of Sheppey, and he's now joined by Noel Lyons of Esporta 1, who moves into the lead in the orange t-shirt. Now Paul Bennett and Noel Lyons going well neck and neck. Paul Bennett in blue. They've left John Barry behind and now beginning to spread this field of 72 competitors. Now Paul Bennett is a member of the TRC Harriers Club. This should be their strongest event and they need to do well. They're currently in last place overall. Further down the field you can see how well spread out everybody is. Several groups beginning to form. Now this third group, the guy in the dark green t-shirt is one of the Elmley Prison Warders team. That's Steve Quick, not exactly living up to his name at this stage. Paul Bennett and Noel Lyons still out in the lead. Craig Stoker of Pinewood is leading the third chase pack as they turn into Cross the Common. Now the gap the leaders have already set will take some making up. Some of the guys in this competition are top club runners. Some of them are top bodybuilders, and they're bound to struggle at this stage of the trial-a-thon. Paul Bennett from TRC Harriers. No great surprise, he's opened up quite a gap now. Esporta's Noel Lyons is clinging on to second place as they come through the woods. And Mark Ruddleston, another Harrier, in third, and behind him the former triathlete Glenn Cook from David Lloyd in Cardiff. Sport Life team in behind him. And here's another Harrier, Mark Ward, in this group. Not a surprise to see 3 from a running club doing so well. It's their best chance to make an assault on the lead. Now Paul Bennett, out on his own, out in front, used to compete in triathlons, looking very comfortable. Back on the streets now, they've come out of the common and back on the tarmac, so a change of terrain to deal with. And a quieter road, thankfully now, less danger from the traffic, less health danger from the carbon monoxide. Chasing pack you can just make out in the background, but Paul Bennett is comfortable out in front and he looks like he's got the victory here in the bag, and he's not even trying that hard, is he? The run is tougher, of course, on the bigger guys. That's Mark Cornford of Sidcup. He looked far more at home on the bench press in Heat 3, but struggling on the run. In second place, it's still Noel Lyons of Esporta. But Paul Bennett out in front and completely on his own on this 2-mile run. Oh, and having a little altercation with our motorcycle camera there as the bike accelerates away to give him some room. Glance over his shoulder, but there's no imminent danger. He's out on his own. Further back in the field, Mark Ward still fighting hard for the Harriers. But Paul Bennett on the last stage now. It's been a cruise for the man from TRC Harriers, a road running club. And Mark Ruddleston looking poised to overtake Noel Lyons from Esporta. Now there's Glenn Cook, the triathlete who was a runner-up in the Triathlon World Championships in 1989. He's in 4th place, and there's quite a gap to 5th. Paul Bennett can start to enjoy the moment and maybe begin his victory celebrations. There's no one going to touch him now as he comes to within sight of the finish area, and just slowing down, taking it easy. No reason to pile on too much pressure on himself. He's won that one easily. Further back there you can see Lud Ramsey of Hampshire Fire Service, Mark Ward, another Harrier, Charlie Dean in the blue for David Lloyd Raynes Park, David Larkham, another of the firemen from Hampshire, Mike Norman also there from Esporta. Now there's Mark Ruddleston, who has overtaken Noel Lyons, and he's coming through to take 2nd place. Noel Lyons in the orange holds on gamely for 3rd position, and in 4th place it looks like Glenn Cook will finish 4th, and indeed he does. But it was all about this man, Paul Bennett, who ran an exceptional race. The runners continued to pour over the line for almost 10 minutes after Paul Bennett's victory. The efforts of the day were beginning to tell. That's not surprising when you consider the training schedule these athletes have had building up to this event.
Actually, I've been working nights for the last 4 years. I've got a very physical job. It's a warehouse. I just chuck stuff around all night. I start work at 11 o'clock at night, and I finish about 6 in the morning. And I get last thing when I get home is I want to go out for a run, but I have to persevere and get out for a run. And as soon as I get up, I have my breakfast, and then it's back down to track at Rotherham, another 20 miles.
So no change at the top of the overall standings. Lily Road still lead, with Raynes Park now in 2nd, Sportlife at 3rd. Pinewood have slipped right down to 5th. However, the Harriers have moved up to 8th following their victory in the run. Linford Christie was a keen spectator, but he's quite happy to have cut down on his own personal mileage.
I'm tending now not to do so much of the running side of things, and I made a promise to myself a long time ago that I'm not going to get a beer gut. So, with all that in mind, it's just, I can just work on specific things rather than, overall body. I get up in the morning, I think about 10 o'clock now, which I can stay a little later, and I work out in the gym, and then I may go down to the track and have a little run. I don't jog because, it's just something I'm not used to, so I may run a track session. Well, I think I eat pretty well. I don't, have red meat, but apart from that, I don't have a diet as such. I think, diet means you've got to deprive yourself of certain things, and I think once you do that, then the things you're depriving yourself of, you get a craving for. So I think everything in moderation is quite fine, and that's how I manage all along. And the most important thing about exercise is that it's got to be fun. The more fun you have, the harder you work at it. The harder you work, the better you become. And it's just as easy as that.